Hey, what's going on? It's Ryan Stewman, President and CEO of BreakFreeAcademy.com, your favorite sales blogger over at hardcorecloser.com. And today I want to give you some tips to become a top producing salesperson. Everybody always talks about how to handle objections and how to have like a sales process. But what they're not going to talk about in any other video on YouTube is the things that I'm going to share with you today. You see, every job that I've ever had in the sales industry, whether it be selling cars, selling houses, selling shit, anything that I've ever sold, selling digital products, I've always been the top producer in the company that I work for. Matter of fact, the company that I own now, Break Free Academy, I've been top producer every single month since we opened. And so I want to share with you some of the things that have separated me from everybody else, even when I didn't know how to do mortgages and I rose to the top within 90 days, even when I didn't know anything about selling cars and I rose to the top within 30 days. I want to talk to you about what it is that makes a person go from being a just regular salesperson to a top producer. All right, now it's important. You're going to want to write down some of the things that I tell you because you're going to forget a lot of the stuff that we talk about in this video. It's just nature, it's just the distractions and everything else, okay? So the first thing is time management, okay? You have to learn how to manage your time effectively. If you have a 8 or 10 hour workday, it's what you do within those 8 or 10 hours that matter the most. You see, everybody has the same amount of time, but it's how you manage your time. The best thing that I do is I keep a schedule. So the schedule is my boss. Every single day, the schedule tells me exactly what I should do. I know what I'm doing at 8 o'clock when I walk in the office all the way till 6 o'clock when I leave, right? Every single bit of my day is detailed and documented so that I look down at my schedule, I keep the schedule, and I make sure that I'm staying distraction-free and operating on that schedule like clockwork, okay? Time management matters the most. Most people, they show up to work and they don't know what to do. They don't have a time set up for calls. They don't have a schedule of when they're gonna meet people. They don't have appointments in their calendar. They just show up and they're like, here I am, right? That's not gonna work. You're gonna have to be very detailed. And in the free slots that you have on your schedule, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you fill them, right? Okay, you look down at your schedule tomorrow and you got a free slot, put phone calls in there, right? Hey, that's the time that I'm gonna make phone calls. That's the time I'm gonna prospect on social media. Fill up your schedule every single day because time management matters the most. And number 2 is be enthusiastic. Act like you actually wanna help the damn customer. Oftentimes people show up to work and they're like, hey, yeah, I thought you were interested in our stuff, man. I'm just returning your call. Act like you actually care. You see, there's this thing called tonality and inflection in our voice. And when you have the proper tonality, like excitement, like I'm using right now, it's contagious. And when you're exciting on the phone and you're actually moving and momentum and you're using the right tonality, people are like, this guy's enthusiastic. And guess what? People want to do business with salespeople that are enthusiastic. The next thing you want to do on top of that is you want to keep the prospect moving forward. Even if they don't commit today, then what you want to do is you want to get a micro commitment for them for you to follow up with them next week. If they're not ready to buy today, then go ahead and set a follow-up time. Don't go, well, do you mind if I reach out to you next week? And then just say, hey, you know what? That's awesome that you're not ready today. I totally understand that you need to take some time and think about this. What if I followed up with you at 3 p.m. on Tuesday of next week? Will that work for you? Perfect. Well, make sure you put it in your schedule because I'll be reaching out to you then. Get micro commitments because every time that they give you a yes, you're getting that much closer to closing the sale. So you always get a commitment to the next step. You see, so many people as salespeople, one of the biggest things that they fail to do is follow up. And they think I'll follow up with them someday. And then the prospect expects to be followed up with someday. But if you actually set a date and time and they know that they got to make a decision by that date and time, they're more likely to commit to whatever it is that you're selling, right? So you got to have time management. And notice all this ties back to time management because if you're committing on a schedule to a certain time next week, then you're managing your schedule properly, right? If you work at any sales job for over a week and your schedule is not filled day in and day out, and every minute of every day you don't have something to do, you're not doing it right. That's what's made me top producer, is those simple tips right there. Time management, enthusiasm, and micro commitments from the customer doing the follow-up, right? And we all know that the FU money in sales is follow-up anyway, so that's a huge part. And the follow-up should be a part that's on your time management. So see how they all tie in together? If you follow that simple system, it's gonna be almost impossible for you not to be top salesman because while the other sales guys are trying to figure out what the hell they're gonna do for the day, and while the other sales guys are trying to, hopefully this coffee kicks in and I feel better about my situation, then you're moving the prospect along, you're filling up your schedule, you're managing your time, and before long, you'll be the top producer as well. If you like this, if you learned something from it, look around here on the channel. There's other videos as well. Make sure you subscribe here because we put out content all the time. And lastly, the one thing that salespeople need in order to be top producer is more leads. And oftentimes when people come to leads, they don't know how to make the technology that actually captures leads. So they go out and they do things like cold call and everything else that's a complete waste of time. Go over to phonesites.com, and you don't even have to have any coding skills, any tech skills, anything. You can build a website that captures names, email addresses, and phone numbers from your mobile device. You don't even need a computer in less than 5 minutes, even if you have zero tech skills. It's less than $50 a month for that service. It's less than $500 a year. Go over to phonesites.com, start capturing leads from social media, from Google, from the internet, from every way that you can, and immediately start finding yourself talking to people that have stuck their hand up that are interested in what it is that you sell, instead of you going out and having to prospect. Set some time on your calendar, buy phonesites.com, commit to making your first phone site within 5 minutes, and watch the leads come in your way. We'll catch you on the next video.